All right, everybody, breaking news. It is, of course, Monday, August 6, 2012. We had a terrible shooting over the weekend. Gunman, always a lone wolf. Remember, it was President Barack Obama being interviewed a few years ago, right around the time before Jared Loughner started his killing spree. And we've also heard similar results, and we've gotten similar commentary from people like Janet Napolitano that the greatest threat to our domestic security here in the United States of America is now a lone wolf white guy. Remember how they drilled this into our head? And so this is what we continue to get now. Crazy lone wolf white guys that, by the way, are all affiliated with the Army, the Air Force. In fact, this just broke that the Sikh shooter that tragically kills all these people is in fact identified as a former U.S. military member who specifically worked in psychological operations. His name is Wade Michael Page. So we're seeing a correlation between, and we talked about this with the Batman shooting, of course James Holmes was under psychological watch by a former Air Force psychologist who had been taking care of him prior to the outbreak of his shooting that killed over a dozen people, left 59 plus wounded. This is what I want to know, because I see a correlation in the timing of the events, and we've talked about this for some time, whether or not this be a Jared Loughner who's on psychotropic medication that all of a sudden snaps and goes on a rampage and attempts to kill Gabriel Giffords, or it be people like we've seen in history, Timothy McVeigh, Theodore Kaczynski, the Unabomber, all who have been affiliated with these government psy-op programs that turn them into killing machines, Manchurian candidates that go after innocent civilians and create these kinds of events. Now, what I'm really taking away from this is that some kind of trigger event, I don't know if this is coming from the mainstream media, I don't know if this is coming from movies or some kind of form of popular entertainment, but something is triggering these individuals to come out in droves now. You know, people are saying things like Wade Michael Page is a white supremacist and he's got tattoos, and I'm seeing some of the images of him, and this is a hate crime. Also notice that we have moved from killing innocent civilians in a movie theater, and now we are attacking specific religious groups, like the Sikhs that are commonly mistaken for Muslim because of their turbans and the way that they look, although they're not Muslim at all. This really is a government playbook to destabilize the United States, with the end goal being the confiscation of our guns, the eradication of the Second Amendment. And of course, as a backdrop, they are working on the passage of a UN disarmament treaty geared to do just that. So this is very effective from the government's perspective in that it's spreading a lot of fear. And now that we have this domestic homegrown terrorism, and what they've been telling us all along, that we need to fear the lone wolf domestic gunman, the lone wolf white guy, and now that these trigger events are occurring and these people are actually fulfilling what they've been programmed to do, this is scaring a lot of innocent people, to the point where now we have religious groups, we have the mainstream media bringing out the gun issue into the blogosphere, into the major news outlets. We're talking about this within our communities, and people are legitimately questioning whether we should have guns, whether or not we should have a Second Amendment here in the United States of America. So stay on careful watch. See how this story develops. But the biggest question, and the biggest thing I'm seeing with this, is the coordination of shootings. The coordination and correlation of these events. And the question we should be asking ourselves is, how many more Jared Loughners, how many more James Holmes, how many more Wade Michael Pages has the government programmed that are now waiting, lurking in the darkness somewhere, waiting to blow up another building, another church, another movie theater? How many more of these people have been programmed and their minds, their brains literally obliterated by the PSYOP machine, this Manchurian candidate technology that's aimed to accomplish military and government objectives for our administration, for Obama, and for the United States destabilization effort. I'm Christopher Green. You've been watching Greenwave TV, alternative media television, and I just deliver the Daily Wave. Hard-hitting and in your face, America.